you ever felt exhausted without moving a muscle? It's not physical fatigue, it's a heaviness in your soul, like fine dust settling on furniture, invisible until it becomes a suffocating layer. You might be carrying dead weight without even realizing it. Welcome to INVICTUS X. Today, we aren't adding more to your to-do list, we're taking things away. Because true peace isn't found in what you acquire, but in what you eliminate. Below is a deep dive into the 10 things you must quietly eliminate from your life. This guide blends ancient Stoic wisdom with modern psychological insights to help you reclaim your serenity. Number 1. People who drain you. Not every relationship is virtuous. As Seneca warned, we must choose our company carefully because time is the only wealth we can never earn back. Some people in your life are not friends, they are anchors. They confuse access to you with intimacy, and they mistake your presence for their right to your energy. The video suggests a quiet cut, fewer replies, fewer invitations, and shorter conversations without the need for a dramatic exit speech. Let's go deeper. Psychology often refers to these individuals as energy vampires. But the danger is subtle. They aren't always malicious. Sometimes they are just perpetually in crisis. You might feel a moral obligation to be their savior, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. Imagine a colleague who stops by your desk every morning to complain about management. At first, you listen to be polite, but after a month, you notice your own mood dipping before 9 a.m. You have absorbed their negativity through osmosis. Use the gray rock method. Be as uninteresting as a gray rock. When they vent, give non-committal answers like, "I see," or "That sounds tough," and immediately pivot back to work. You don't need to be rude, you just need to be impenetrable. Your peace is a fortress, not an open market. Number 2. The someday mentality. Someday I'll start. Someday I'll be ready. This is the lie we tell ourselves to feel comfortable with stagnation. Seneca wrote, "While we delay, life passes." Readiness is a myth. It doesn't fall from the sky. It is forged in the friction between decision and reality. A real imperfect step taken today is infinitely more valuable than a perfect plan for tomorrow. We often suffer from analysis paralysis, believing we need more information before we act. In reality, we are just afraid of doing it wrong. The 70% rule. High-performing leaders often use a rule where they act once they have 70% of the information or certainty. If you wait for 100%, you are too late. Think of the writer who has spent 5 years researching a novel but hasn't written a single chapter. Compare them to the person who writes 500 terrible words every day. In a year, the second person has a book to edit. The first person still has nothing but a dream. Kill someday by doing the 2-minute version of your habit today. 3. The antidote to boasting. We all know someone who turns every conversation into a resume reading. They talk about their car, their salary, their exclusive trips. It is tempting to jump in and say, "Oh, I've done that too," or to try to outdo them. Don't. Seneca wrote that he who brags reveals his insecurity. When you encounter a boaster, silence is the ultimate power move. It signals that you are so secure in your own value that you feel no need to broadcast it. It is the difference between a yapping chihuahua and a resting lion. The lion doesn't need to bark to prove it's dangerous. 4. The gossip vacuum. Gossip is social currency, but it is a currency that devalues everyone who uses it. When a group starts tearing someone down, there is a pressure to join in to feel included. This is where you must be a stoic rebel. When the gossip starts, just stay silent.
Don't nod, don't agree, and definitely don't add new information. Your silence creates a vacuum that makes the gossipers uncomfortable. They will stop because you are no longer fueling the fire. As highlighted on INVICTUS X, the best answer to slander is the integrity of your own life.
5. The victim mindset. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Turning every wound into an identity creates a golden cage. When "this hurt me" becomes "I am the hurt," you are trapping yourself in the past. Stoicism asks, what is within my control now? The answer is always your attitude and your next step. This is about shifting your locus of control. People with an external locus of control believe life happens to them. People with an internal locus of control believe life happens for them. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, argued that our primary drive is the search for meaning. Even in suffering, if we can find meaning, we can survive. When disaster strikes, imagine you are the protagonist in a movie. This isn't the end, it's the plot twist that forces character development. Instead of asking "why me?" ask "what does this experience require of me?" This simple linguistic shift moves you from victim to hero. Pointless arguments. Not every battle deserves a sword. The desire to be right is a fire that burns energy without warmth. The wise know that silence is often an unbeatable argument. If there is no openness or goodwill in the other person, engaging is a waste of your finite life. The internet has weaponized our urge to correct others, but consider the 3-second rule. Before typing a furious comment or snapping back at a rude relative, pause for 3 seconds. Ask yourself, will this interaction change their mind? Will it improve my life? If the answer is no, the victory lies in disengaging. Treat provocation like a telemarketer calling your phone. You don't argue with the telemarketer, you just hang up. Do the same mentally. Protect your mental temple from becoming a marketplace for noise.
7. The clutter you ignore. Physical disorder whispers mental chaos. Piles of laundry, unread emails, and cluttered drawers signal to your brain that you are not in control. The Stoic seeks clarity. Start small. Organize one drawer. Delete old apps. When your space aligns, your mind flows. This aligns with the broken windows theory. Visible signs of disorder encourage more disorder. If your environment is chaotic, your discipline crumbles. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about decision fatigue. Every item out of place is a micro-decision your brain has to process. I need to move that. Where does this go? By the end of the day, you're exhausted by the noise of your own stuff. Practice mise en place for your life. Just as a chef preps their station before cooking, prep your environment before living. A clear desk is a clear invitation for deep work. 8. Fake urgency. We live in a state of constant false alarms. Notifications and ASAP emails keep us in a fight-or-flight mode. Seneca noted, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." You are not a customer service hotline. You must relearn how to give weight only to what is essential. We're addicted to the dopamine hit of being needed. Responding instantly makes us feel important, but it kills our ability to think deeply. Distinguish between the urgent, the ringing phone, and the important, your health, your long-term goals. Most urgent things are not important. Turn off all non-human notifications. If it's not a text from a real person, you don't need it buzzing in your pocket. Reclaim your attention span. As the video states, the essential gets presence, the trivial gets silence. 9. Overthinking. Endless thinking mimics productivity, but it is actually fear wearing a suit. Epictetus taught that we are not disturbed by things, but by our views of things. Action is the only cure for fear. Feedback from reality corrects you faster than analysis ever could. Overthinking is often a mechanism to avoid the pain of potential failure. We think if we plan enough, we can eliminate risk. You can't. Paradoxically, the Stoic practice of negative visualization helps here. Imagine the worst-case scenario. If you launch the business and it fails, what happens? You lose money, you feel embarrassed, you get a job. You don't die. Once you accept the worst case, the fear loses its teeth and you are free to act. Action reveals answers. You cannot steer a parked car. Get moving and the path will reveal itself. 10. People-pleasing. Trying to please everyone is a slow betrayal of yourself. Marcus Aurelius had a simple rule: if it is right, do it. If it is not, don't. Saying no is a muscle. The more you use it, the less it hurts. Those who get angry at your boundaries were never looking for a connection, they were looking for compliance. We often confuse being nice with being kind. Nice is doing what makes others comfortable to avoid conflict. Kind is doing what is helpful and true, even if it's uncomfortable. Dr. Robert Glover, author of No More Mr. Nice Guy, argues that people-pleasing leads to covert contracts. You think, I did this for you, so you owe me. When they don't pay up, you become resentful. Kill the contract. Be honest about your capacity. A truthful no is kinder than a resentful yes, because it preserves the integrity of the relationship.
A sword is sharp not because of what the blacksmith adds, but because of what is hammered away and removed. Your life works the same way. We spend so much time trying to add happiness, buying new things, seeking new friends, chasing new titles, that we forget that peace is often buried under the things we refuse to let go of. The 10 items listed above, from the someday mentality to the people-pleasing habit, are not just bad habits, they are leaks in your vessel. You cannot sail to your potential if you are constantly bailing out water. Do not try to eliminate all 10 at once. That is a recipe for failure. Choose one, just one item from this list. Maybe today you finally mute that group chat that drains you. Maybe you clear off your desk. Maybe you say no to a request you don't have time for. Make that one small cut and observe how the weight lifts. Freedom doesn't arrive with a grand announcement. It seeps into your life through the empty spaces you create. We want to hear from you. Which of these 10 burdens are you dropping today? Is it the need to explain, or perhaps the fake urgency? Leave a comment below with your commitment. Your public declaration might be the exact encouragement someone else needs to start their own journey. Stay strong, stay focused. Invictus.